Good morning, students. Let us start today in our unit number first, the topic error analysis. In error analysis, we have to understand the types of errors and how to deal with these errors in mathematical operations, addition, subtraction, like that. And then the first heading is about significant figures. Let us start. Students, here we have a term significant figures. Suppose we are measuring any quantity through some experiment. Suppose we are measuring current in a circuit using ammeter device. So we may have a number of datas which we have obtained for the current value. Now, how many digits are accurately known to us? That we call significant figures. Okay, so here we have some numbers which are appearing. Some of the numbers are appearing with zeros, some without zeros, and with points or without points. So what are the rules? Let us take the example. Suppose a number is appearing 1.234. That means after point we know till 3 digits the value. So here the significant digits are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 significant digits are there. About this 5th digit, we don't have any idea. So significant figures are or digits are 4 in this number. Now if we see the second number, in this zeros are appearing. So the rule of counting zeros are different according to their position, where they are appearing. So let us revise these rules. So broadly, the number of rules, this set of rules, I have listed in 4 points. You have to remember in short these 4 points only. It will be easy for you. So first rule is all the non-zero digits are significant. Like here, all the non-zero digits are significant. They are always counted. Okay. Then the remaining 3 rules are about zeros. The zeros between two non-zero digits are also significant. Like if I have measured some value 12004, that means these zeros we cannot remove because they are appearing in between the two non-zero digits. So the value is 12,000 something. If I will remove these zeros, so value will become hundreds. In some hundreds, that will be wrong. So that way, 12004, in these the zeros are appearing in between, so they will be counted. Then here we have two rules about starting zeros and trailing zeros. Starting zeros are never counted. Okay, so starting zeros are never counted, and trailing zeros means last zeros, terminal zeros. Here these are counted only when point is there. So we will understand all these rules with the few more examples. Let us practice that how do we count the significant figures. Okay, let us practice for different numbers. Rules are already explained to you. So let us apply all these rules for counting the number of significant figures. First number is 11.25. All are non-zero. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are the significant digits in this number. In this number also, all are non-zero digits. All will be counted. So total number of significant digits are 5. Here 23500. Now at last the zeros are appearing. So this rule, last zeros are significant only when point is there. In this no point is there, so last zeros are not counted. So 1, 2, 3 are the significant digits. In this number, 0 is appearing here also, here also. Now in between 0 is always counted. In between 0. Last 0 will not be counted because here point is not there. Okay, now what about the last zeros in case of point? So here the rule is different. When point is there, then the last zeros are also counted. Okay, this is written. Last zeros are significant only when point is there. So point is there, this will be also counted. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the answer. Now come to these questions. Starting zeros. This is the rule for starting zeros. Starting zeros are never counted, whether point is there or not. So this will be ignored. Only 1 and 2 digits are there. In this also only 2 digits are there. In this also 2 digits are there. Now one extra number is shown here in 10 power 3. So this is the scientific notation. We have to always see the significant digits according to this side number. 10 power number we have to ignore. So in this how many significant digits are there? 1, 2 and 3 digits are there. So we will write the answer this way. You can practice more numbers from the book. Let us understand now two terms which sometimes we feel are similar, but there is a difference. One term is accuracy and second term is precision. Okay, whenever we talk about the measurements in any experiment, then are we accurately measuring it or we are precisely measuring it? There is a difference in saying these two sentences. So students, it's very easy to understand. Accuracy is the extent to which a measurement approaches the true value. Okay, suppose let us take this help of this diagram. Suppose we are shooting the arrow. If it is just approaching the correct point, that means this measurement is accurate. Okay, so accuracy of a measurement is the measurement of how close the measured value is to the true value. Okay, so this is the best example of accuracy. Now let us understand its difference from the precision term. Precision is not related to the true value. Precision means if we have taken one measurement and if we have taken the second measurement, are that two measurements close to each other or not? Okay, we are not interested in the true value here. We are basically interested in the two measurements. Are they close to each other or not? So a measure of how close a series of measurements are to one another. Okay, or we can also say that to what limit the quantity is measured. So here two measurements we have to take. Now how close they are to each other. That series of measurements are called precise measurements. I will take here the example of one more diagram. Students, see these three diagrams in which the arrows are pointing or targeting to the center point. Okay, our central point is gray. You can see that the center point is gray. Now here some arrows are allowed to fall, allowed to strike the different colors. Okay, now you can see none of the arrow is approaching the center point. So this measurement is not accurate and all the arrows are scattered. So all these measurements are not precise also. Here you see that none of the arrow has reached the center. So this measurement is not accurate. But all that arrows which were targeted, they are very close to each other. So all the measurements are very close to each other. So that means the measurement is precise. Here you see that the arrows are almost reaching the center and all the arrows are near each other also. So near each other means precise and near the true value means accurate. Okay, so my last conclusion is accurate means near the true value and precise means near each other. Whatever measurements we have done, are they near each other? Let us understand now the meaning of error and types of error. The error definition is the uncertainty in the measurement of a physical quantity. Now, error are actually measured in three ways: absolute error, relative error, and percentage error. In this sheet, we are understanding the absolute error. It's very simple. The formula of absolute error is true value minus experimental value. I'll take the example of G because this quantity is known to you. Small g means gravitational acceleration and its value is 9.81. I'm taking it 2 digits after the point. So 9.81 is the true value. Now suppose we are measuring this g through any experiment in the lab and we have got the g answer, experimental answer 9.79. Now this is very close to the actual value but not completely matching. So whatever is the difference between the true value and experimental value, that difference is called the absolute error. So true value minus experimental value is called the absolute error. We always denote it by delta x. X means only any quantity. So if it is about g, so we have to write absolute error by delta g. So what is the value of absolute error in G? 9.81 minus 9.79. So 0.02 is the absolute error. Now suppose in some cases if true value is not given, okay, so in the absence of any other method of knowing the true value, we consider the arithmetic mean as the true value. Suppose we are measuring any quantity x and its first measurement is x1 value, and when we have taken the measurement second time, the answer came x2, x3. So number of data or number of measurements we have obtained for the same quantity. Now we don't know what is the true value of that quantity. Then in that case what we do, whatever is the mean of all that experimental data, that only we use as the true value. So it is the exceptional case. Otherwise always true value minus experimental value will be the absolute error. Let's proceed to the next type of error. The second type of error is relative error. It's very simple. Relative means ratio. So absolute error upon true value is the formula of relative error. So in symbol we can write it delta x by x. Delta x means error. First type of error, absolute error, was there. Once we measured it, we will put it here. And true value is also required. So delta x by x क्या होता है? Relative error. Okay. Now third type of error is percentage error. And I think you know the meaning of percentage. Percentage means we have to do into 100. Okay, into 100 to what? So the relative error term, no, delta x by x, if we multiply it with the 100, then we get the percentage error. Then we denote it by percent sign. Okay, so both are the formulas of percentage error. Relative error into 100 or delta x by x into 100 is the percentage error.